Can you promote this pawn? White is winning here, but you must find the best moves. And first off, if you want to promote this, you know you're going to need to get rid of black's h and g pawns because they're currently covering the way forward, which means you know you want to move your king up to g3 and over to h4 so you can make that a reality. However, if you try playing this immediately, there is a problem. That being, black can play king g5 and stop you from getting closer. Now, this may not seem like that large of an issue because on the other side of the board you have two pawns here against one, which means you can play pawn up, force them to capture, and then easily push and promote your a pawn. However, when we actually go through this line, you're going to see that something doesn't work. That being, black is going to actually start moving forward over here. You're forced to move your king back, they will keep advancing, and here, even though you can eventually get your plan, you can play pawn up to c6, force them to capture, and then push and promote your a pawn. You are just too slow. They can play h2, force you to capture, and then play captures on f2. That way, they are going to promote as well. And eventually, we're going to get a position where we are simply a pawn down in this endgame, and as a result, you are not going to be winning here. So, what else can we do? We do still want to have that plan. We want to move our king up and go ahead and capture them, but we need to attract black's king over to our pawns first. Now, how can we do that? We simply want to push one of them. That way, it's a lot more immediate. Black is forced to go ahead and stop us. However, which pawn do we push? Taking a look at if we push our c pawn first, black will move their king over to try and capture both of our pawns. We're going to do basically the same exact thing on the other side of the board, at which point we will start pushing and they will start pushing as well. However, when we get to this position, even though we do promote first, it just doesn't matter because we don't have anything we can do, except maybe we can play queen to a8 check, forcing black onto the b file, and then queen b8, skewering them. In this case, it doesn't work because black barely gets to c2 and defends their queen, ensuring this is going to be a completely equal endgame. However, back to this position, all the way over here, if we instead started with pawn to a5, well then we're going to go through that exact same line again, but the difference here is when black captures our a pawn, they are one square higher than they were before. And the difference there is when we go through that exact same line, this time we can play queen a8 check, force them onto the b file, and get that same skewer, except this time they are too far from their king, so their queen, they must move, you capture, you are now completely winning.